Hey Virgo, welcome back. Welcome if you are new. This will be your Virgo Sun, Moon, and Rising weekly energy update. I do consider all of these readings timeless, so whenever you're guided here, just trust that it is the right time for you. I do recommend that you check out your sun, your moon, and your rising sign, as well as any prominent energies that are any prominent transits we may have going on in the chart at the current moment. I am recording this on April 16th, 2025, and I do recommend that you also check out the Aries reading if you are catching this video as I'm posting it. All right. All right, let's get into it. Virgo. Hope you guys like my new tapestry. It's temporary. My cat just jumped up and knocked my candle over on my other one that I had, so we have to go with this one until I get a new one in. So it's all right. It's cute. It's a little big, but she's cute. All right, Virgo. Thank you guys, by the way, for liking the video, sharing, commenting, all the things. It really does help me out. I appreciate it. All right, Virgo. Let's just tap into your energies here. We're going to start with the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. All right. We have got could be dealing with some quarrels, a little bit of misunderstandings here. The owl in reverse can speak to scarcity mindset. And the wolf in reverse can speak to ego or like a little bit of dominating or judgmental energies. The zebra is about tapping into your authentic, like your authenticity, your what makes you unique. It's about embracing the adventure and the journey and all of the quirks and ups and downs. And the fish in reverse can be a little bit distracted. All right, there could be this energy where you might change your mindset kind of often. The fish tends to go in kind of many directions, changes its mind often. And then we have the camel and the bee. The camel reminds us of our inner resources. And the bee speaks to hard work and dedication. We're going to get some tarot out here to clarify, see what we got going on here. Tell me about this owl in reverse, my Virgo. Tell me about this wolf. Zebra. The fish. The camel. That's funny. The cobra slid out. The cobra is also about the wise inner teacher. All right. We got a lot coming out here, Virgo. One more. We'll get into it. Tell me about this bee. Thank you. Yep. Now, you guys, you cannot make this shit up. Because This is crazy. Spirit blows me away every single day with these cards. I don't know how it works, but it is absolutely amazing. All right, let's get into it. So we're going to start with the camel, since the camel has so much to say over here. The camel and the cobra, I should say. Again, the cobra is Kundalini energy. It is about the wise inner teacher, the student of life, which is humble and wise and quiet, observant, pausing to watch, right? It's the inner teacher. And the camel speaks to our inner resources. And look, behind the camel, we've got the dragonfly in reverse, the master of light, but also the master of illusion. All right, the dragonfly in reverse, you might not be able to concentrate quite a bit because you need to get your mind in a steady place. Interesting as a pace. And the elk is behind this dragonfly. The elk craves stability. It's father energy. All right, so there is some steadiness that needs to be had here, Virgo. 10 out of 10, highly recommend some meditation here with these energies coming out, all right? We've got the King of Wands looking at the Queen of Swords with the Emperor. On the bottom, we've got the Two of Pentacles. Again, a need for some balance here, all right? There is a bit of some impulsive energy going on here. Definite need to practice letting go of something. The Queen of Swords, she is about direct communication. Could be dealing with a feminine air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And we've got a masculine, it doesn't have to be, it could just be someone that has those attributes, the attributes of a quick mind, logical thinking, direct communication. And the King of Wands could be a fire sign masculine you could be dealing with, or again a masculine that's got these traits of this fiery energy, passion, purpose. The fire signs Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And the Emperor sitting beneath them. The Emperor craves stability. I'm hearing functionality for some reason. A steadiness, also power. Again, with the father energy coming out here. Some of you, there could be some paternal shit you got to deal with. Some wounds from the father, perhaps. Doesn't have to be, but with all this father energy, there is something. Now remember, the masculine or father energy is energy that is action orientated. It is about stability and finding your place in the world and taking action to get it. So there's something here about facing, how they're facing each other, facing your feminine and masculine energies, working on the mind and your purpose, your fire, that spark. This iguana is really standing out to me in the background. It's interesting. There's both lions and iguanas behind him. That's the first time I noticed. Oh, and there's another iguana here. Very interesting because those are the two animals that I've seen in meditation. One time I just saw an iguana sitting in a bowl of water, just staring at me. And I've seen lions many times, but that's neither here nor there. But the iguana stands for the ability to change, to be changeable. The lion stands for courage. And the iguana is also awareness and the ability to camouflage, to change with your surroundings. The ability to detach and to overcome, to be resilient and adaptable and to overcome obstacles. Might be a reminder to stay grounded and patient, to stay grateful for everything that you have, and to shed anything in your life that isn't bringing you closer to accomplishing your goals. The owl in reverse with the Knight of Wands. Yeah, it's just giving this energy of adapting and moving out of scarcity mindset into things that light you up, things that bring you passion and purpose and inspiration. And the wolf in reverse with the Six of Wands in reverse. There's a bit of a feeling of defeat here. I would be careful about putting too much energy into that defeat, though, into something you might not be as recognized as you would hope to be, or like as seen for your accomplishments, or maybe there's been some failures that is kind of prominent in your energy. This is, in a centerpiece here. And we're moving towards authenticity, towards releasing something that you have been holding on to. Now remember, what we focus on expands. So if a prominent energy in your field is that of discouragement or resentment, or not being seen, feeling like then you're going to end up seeing more of this energy. So let's shift this into being able to release that shit that you've had on your shoulders, negative thoughts, that devilish energy that has been holding you down, holding you back, and taking action to move towards stability in an authentic way, in a way that allows you to shine and be who you truly are, right, at your core. But there are some overpowering thoughts here, and it's also disconnecting you from spirit, from your gifts. Your gifts lie in your quirks, Virgo. Don't shy away from who you truly are. Right? This reading is saying it's time to step into your gifts. It's time to step into your quirks, not shy away from it. Right? Not hide yourself or dim your light out of perhaps fear of what others might think. And really, I would work on letting go of the distractions that have you changing your mind so frequently. This is screaming to me, mental detox would be really beneficial for you, Virgo, at this time. Because I do see you changing your mind often or getting distracted often. And if that's where your field is, if that's where your energy is at, then you're going to end up branching, your energy branches off in all these different directions instead of being centered and grounded and purposeful, right? When we're purposeful and we know what we want and we have clear intentions and clear goals, then we move in that direction. When our energy is splintered off into many different directions or distractions or changing our mind all the time, then we end up kind of like splintering it, right? And the roots of the tree, or kind of like shattered glass where we have all these fragments of manifestation. However, that's what they are. They're not solid, they're not grounded, they're not rooted. I hope that makes sense. So it's time to pick a path. Which path is it that you want? Is it knowledge? Is it love? Is it wisdom? Money? Stability? Home? Career? What is it that you actually crave at your core? And again, I definitely recommend going within. Calming the mind. Because from a calm, centered place, you make better decisions. You gain clarity and understanding. And yes, this is going to take some work, right? The B is about hard work and dedication, as is, like I said, you can't make this up. These are, I mean, that's exactly what this is. It's taking a look also at the work that you've put in, the seeds that you've planted. Are they growing with fruits? Are these seeds that you have planted growing into your desired manifestation? Or are they splinters of, fragments of what you actually want? How can you solidify your goals and get very clear on a direction and on what you want? We're going to get a Sacred Rebels Oracle to wrap this up for my Virgos. Thank you. Or two. Look, you guys, you cannot make this up. Thank you, Spirit. I freaking love you. I'm also going to get a couple of these out here because they're calling me. All right. It's time to move forward, right? That card just flew off of it, that balance. It's time to balance out and move forward here. We've got focus on your priorities. When you put your focus, where you put your focus is where you receive your outcome. Your priorities are calling you, which may produce a feeling of anxiety unless you give them the time and attention they and you deserve. Even a small amount of time devoted to your priorities will help you feel better and more confident. And then we got words of abundance. You have the ability to instantly manifest abundance by choosing powerfully positive words. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in a loving and optimistic terms, and that is what you will attract for yourself and for others. This spirals of manifestation is reminding me exactly of what we were just talking about. I'm actually going to read this, but let's see. It says, and it's number 18, which breaks down to a 9. 9 is manifestation, right? The creative, rebellious path of love moves in spirals. It is not linear. Sometimes our mind decides that the way forward is to take clear steps from one point to the next logical point. However, there is a genius within that can guide us on an alternative route. If there's an unnecessary pothole or delay in the typical linear path of progression, and the curved loop in the path will be quicker, more fun, and more beautiful, then why not allow yourself to be guided to that path? This can happen through trust and wisdom rather than a rigid adherence to what on the surface appears to be logical progression. You are in the midst of a spiral of manifestation. Something is coming into being, even if you think it's further away than ever before. How amazing it'll seem when what you've been dreaming of falls into place. Suddenly, what you've been thinking of creating will plunk into your reality seemingly out of nowhere because it was just around the bend, just out of view on the spiral of manifestation, and you could not see it coming. In truth, it was coming all along. This oracle has a special message for you. Sometimes when we feel furthest away from what we want, we are actually closer than ever before. Just one turn on the spiral loop of creation can see your manifestation taking root in the world. You must hold true to your faith and keep working on your progress. Forget about believing it when you see it. Right? Any old soul or young soul can do that. You are a bigger, braver, more ancient soul. You have enough shutpas, I don't know what that means, to believe it so that you can see it sooner, bigger, brighter. Do not give in to those who have told you that it should have happened already or that you have failed. What did we say? There's a feeling of failure or doubt, not being seen. Right? Do not give in to those, all right? They're just suffering from a lack of patience and understanding, as well as an arrogant assumption that their notion of timing is somehow superior to the greater divine timing at play in life. Be in goodwill with yourself and the universe. All is unfolding perfectly, whether you feel it now or not. This oracle also brings you a message about the perfect synchronicities that are taking place in your life. You may have already started to notice those. When we live from the heart, honor our creative center, and choose unlikely but lovingly rebellious ways to be in the world, we will begin to notice synchronicity every day. It is as though the universe is speaking to us intimately on all matters, which of course it is. This oracle reminds you that there is no point in rushing to the bus stop. If you are way too early, you're just wasting your time. Better to live your life at a more appropriate pace and get there right on time. You don't need the anxiety that comes from rushing towards your destiny. Try not to worry quite so much about the future. You will attract what you need and want, and so it'll be so much more enjoyable if you just relax and deal with the here and now. Remember, too, that your life path is unfolding in harmony with the path of others. You will meet each other for the greatest benefit when you trust in the flow of the one great creative spiral on which this galaxy spins. Everything is ultimately in harmony with everything else to fulfill the great, big, creative intent of the supreme creative force of love. You're included in that. Lucky. And we've got Diving for Light, Master number 11. And this one says, how brave you are. You're diving for light. It can be much simpler to seek light in the heavenly, in that which is blissful, sweet, loving, and kind. To look for the light in that which is dark is an advanced task that only the rebellious and brave heart will attempt. You may not feel that you have chosen such a journey by choice, yet you have taken this wise challenge on from deep within your soul. Your innermost being has evoked this situation in your life with the intention that you grow in power, in wisdom, and in strength, and creative juice. I lost my spot. It also wants you to experience a bold and fearless trust in life and become further empowered to live it with zest and courage. The Oracle of Diving for Light speaks of a time when you're called into darkness through life's circumstances, situations, relationship challenges, or inner struggles that defy clear understanding. That darkness might be a creative block, a sense of being in a void, or feelings of depression or rage, sadness, fear, anxiety. There may or may not be an obvious cause. The darkness might be generally accepted and socially acknowledged because there's a socially acceptable or obvious reason for it, such as death or divorce or retrenchment. However, there may be no obvious justification for your experience of darkness. You might not need a reason to be able to accept it. Likewise, you may struggle to find unconditional acceptance of your experience. Just know that you're actually right on track and right where you need to be. Our creative process and spiritual path go through a similar turning of the wheel. There's spring and summer in the seasons of our soul, as well as on the earthly ones. There's the autumn harvest, and there's the death inherent in winter, when energy is concentrated and pulled within to seek out the darkness where it can rest and regenerate and simply be until the time is right for new life, energy, and creative inspiration to burst forth. When diving for light, one must be willing to bear the darkness and understand it has a purpose, much like winter does upon the earth. It is not an error or through lack consciousness that you're here now. It is a testament to your spiritual growth and creative process, not a sign that they're lacking or stalling. The healing process below will help you to navigate with your inward plunging and successfully navigate it. This oracle brings particular guidance that although you are powerful, you're also vulnerable at this time. You need to be alert to sabotage and criticism that may make your progress more difficult than it already is. That would be rather unnecessary. At least some of the people around you might be more attached to their fear and doubt than to their faith in your process and the ways of the creative, rebellious, spiritual path that asks us to trust unconditionally. They may be frightened due to a lack of understanding. You don't need to carry their fear for them. You have your own process to attend to, and they can choose to be inspired by your journey or frightened by it. They are free to respond as they wish, and whatever their responses are, they're part of their journey for them to work through. You also need to be vigilant against the darker force within you. There are voices that you may not expect, particularly if you're a pure-hearted being who typically resonates with love. These voices or feelings might surprise you with their dark intensity. They might be feelings of hate, terror, wanting to only sleep because anything further is just too hard. They may contain vicious criticism of yourself or tell you that your inner creative work is pointless or unoriginal or not worth it or stupid. These dark forces may try to tell you that you're on the wrong path, suggest that you'll fail, or ask with great condescension, "Who the hell do you think you are?" You must stay in your heart and not believe these dark forces. Stay in compassion. Right? Fear creates the energy of anger and hate and destructiveness. These forces are part of life. We don't have to be frightened of them, nor do we need to deny their existence or try to ignore them in order to find the light in the darkness. We just need to hold compassion and be intelligently aware so we can avoid being seduced into the trap of needing to prove ourselves or into the mistaken belief that we need to fight against the darkness. It is too easy to get caught up in trying to heal the dark. Darkness just is. Recognize it when it's there and be in your compassionate heart. All you need to do is make a choice. Will you stay in your heart, or will you be seduced by darkness and overcome by hate or sleepiness? Diving for light is a spiritual test and a threshold for all true creative work. We successfully navigate our way through this test and pass the threshold into new creative birth by staying connected to the light of compassion in our own hearts. It is not an easy test, but it's one that you must be ready for. Otherwise, it wouldn't be coming to you right now. Just remember, it is the light of the heart that sustains. It exists within us always, even in the darkest depths of unknown terrain. This oracle also comes with a special message. There's a darkness within or around you that could become problematic if left unchecked. If for no particular reason you find yourself feeling angry or irritated or hopeless or tired more easily than usual or unable to rest, or it's just too much effort to exercise or take care of yourself, then this darkness is having an unnecessary effect on you. It's time to end that now from a place of compassion. The healing process below will empower you for that task. Don't be afraid. You're learning this lesson and the unending power of compassion because you're ready for it, Virgo. Feel honored by this lesson and stay humbly centered in your own powerful, rebellious heart that refuses to be conquered by fear and remains faithful to love. All is well. And here's the healing process that we will end with. You can say this out loud, whether it makes sense to you or not. And here is if you want to screenshot it and read it for yourself. It says, I call upon the presence of unconditional love. Be here now, without restraint. Fill me and fill this space. Touch all beings with your grace. I feel the presence of unconditional love within me. I acknowledge the presence of unconditional love all around me. I am the presence of unconditional love, and in this love, no fear can remain. May unconditional love guide any fear back to the light of love or back into the earth as serves the greatest good. My body, mind, heart, and soul are now completely bathed in and protected by unconditional love. Through my own free will, this is so. It says, repeat this morning and night for at least 3 days and continue for as long as you wish and feels good to you. You may feel some reactions to this work. Fear, anger, irritation may come up. You may feel an overwhelming need to go and do something that doesn't actually seem important to you once you start doing it and could have waited 5 more minutes. You might feel nausea. You might feel emotional with sadness or grief passing through you. These are all signs that your healing process is working on a darker energy, and that energy is releasing itself from you. Repeat this simple process until you feel clear. Don't be afraid to continue with it as much as needed, especially if you live or work in a toxic environment with lots of negativity or arguments or anger or disturbances, and you can't extradite yourself from them or that environment for a period of time for various reasons. If you feel you need additional help, seek out a reputable shaman or spiritual healer. Start with internet searches or word of mouth referrals, and then trust your instincts about who feels good for you. There's no need to fear or feel burdened by this work. You're being drawn into this experience so that you're ready to experience more light. To be ready for that, we must be capable of handling equal darkness. So now is the preparation. Soon the celebration will follow. Thank you guys again for liking and sharing and commenting and subscribing, all of the things. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate your light. Until next time, I love you guys.